Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol. Just bear with me for a few seconds. I'm trying to broadcast this one. Okay, got it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Thank you, Shamlani Mataji, for this wonderful melodious kirtan. And thank you so much, dear devotees, for coming here to the birthday party of Mehar. And where is Mehar? She's out playing somewhere. Well, let's start with saying a big Hare Krishna to Mehar on her birthday. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go Premanande, Hare Hare Go. And thank you so much for Sumati Mataji and Ajit Arjun Prabhu for opening their home and their hearts so that we can do Krishna Katha over here in this auspicious month of Kartik. So we will get started after this brief prayer to the special master. And is Ajita Arjun Prabhu here? Because he has to tell me when I'm supposed to stop. He's not there. Okay, so we'll just go on. Oh. Ajnanirandhasya Jnanam Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadikam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganam Lalita Shri Vishakhanditam Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpati Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchani Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadhu Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Premanande. So Arjun Prabhu had asked me to give a class pertaining to the kids, but I don't have any kids here. So this is kids curriculum, so just bear with me. So I just prepared for the kids. So you want to sit here, Mama? Yes, okay. So, well, this is the auspicious month of Kartik, and so we are so lucky to be celebrating Mehar's birthday, which gives an opportunity for the devotees to gather together. Matchitta, Matgata, Prana, Bodhayantas, Parampuram, Kathantas, Chamam, Nitya, Tushyanti, Charamanti. So we just need an excuse to get together and participate in Krishna Katha. So this is being broadcast on my Facebook page, so I have devotees watching there. Just letting you all know. So this is the month of Kartik, and we all know that we are doing some extra austerity and some extra work during this devotional work. That means because this is, as Vaisheshika Babu said, this is the period of sale. Sale basically means buy one get one free. So if you just recite one shloka from the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will get the Sukruti for 2. So that's a very good deal that goes on over here. And not that you don't do anything for the rest of the year, you are definitely engaged all the time of the year. So it's just that it's going to double, right? It's a double deal. And so most of you are doing austerities like I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat anything sweet, or I'm not going to eat something which I like very much, or I'm not going to eat in the night. I don't know how they do that, but they do it. So, or I'm going to chant 32 rounds of japa. So all that is really, really, really good. So I was told that the program is going to be Kirtan and then lecture and then the Ashtikam. So we had plenty of Kirtan in the beginning by the kids, and then we had beautiful Kirtan by Shamlagi. And then as a prelude, we're going to the Damodar Ashtikam. I'm just going to go into Damodar Ashtikam and we just discuss the beautiful Ashtikam that we have. So as a prelude to Damodar Ashtikam, and who wrote the Damodar Ashtikam? Damodar Ashtikam was documented. It appears in the Padma Purana. It was documented by Ved Vyas, who did a lot of documentation. And but it's a conversation and in between Shaunaka Rishi, Narada Muni, and Satyavrata Muni. So you can imagine, what kind of a conversation happened when these 3 stalwart munis sit together. And says how that conversation Satyavrata Muni has composed this beautiful Ashtakam. And so as what builds and what leads to this Ashtakam is a big complaint. It's a big complaint. And who is complaining? It's the gopis of Vrindavan. And to whom are they complaining? They're complaining to Yashoda Maiya. And what are they complaining? That your son steals our butter. Steals our butter. And so Yashoda Maiya is feeling very bad. After all, she's the queen. And then when you're the queen and your son is involved in stealing, like, so how bad is that, right? How do you show your face, brother? So people thinking about, why does it happen? Why does my son do this? And so then she comes to the conclusion that maybe it's because my servants are making the butter at home, and the butter at home is not as delicious as the butter made by the other gopis. And so let me make the butter so that there'll be a lot of motherly love. And we all know about the motherly love, right? We all still miss the food that our mother was making. And of course, some of the Prabhus have made the mistake of telling their wives that my mother's food tasted much better, and that's it, So there's something about mother's love that gets into the food, and her consciousness enters into the food. So Yashoda then says, I'm going to give the very best, the best and the bestest I'm going to give. So she says that let me get the best milk. So now there's different kinds of cows that Nand Maharaj has, because there's business of milk. And so he has got a special type of cow, which are known as Padma Gandha. What does Padma mean in Sanskrit? Lotus, right? So this milk is, and I can't even imagine. Like sometimes when I open the gallon of milk and I smell it, a sour smell comes, or some very different kind of smell comes. Of course, the milk has been processed many times before it reaches us. But this Padma Gandha milk, smells of lotus flowers. And not only that, not only the milk, if you make curd out of that, it will smell of lotus. If you make anything else, kheer out of that, any makhan out of that, all of that is going to smell of Padma. So it's called Padma Gandha. So she gets the very best of the milk. And so she's saying that it's Diwali. So the day of Diwali, she's saying, okay, I'm going to boil the milk and I'm going to make some nice kheer for Krishna on this day. And so out of motherly love, she's sitting there and she's naked. And then Krishna is sleeping in the other room, and then Krishna wakes up. And when Krishna wakes up, he's hungry. All of us are hungry when we wake up. I'm super hungry. The first thought that comes to our mind is like, what's for breakfast? Like that. So Krishna is there, and he gets up, he's hungry, so he comes to Yashoda Maiya, and so Yashoda Maiya sits down, and she tries to feed him. Now, before all this was happening, Yashoda Maiya had put the milk on the stove to boil. It was simmering there for quite some time. And in the meantime, she had made curd the night before from Katha, and she was churning that. She was doing that churning. And she then was singing the glories of Krishna. So even if Krishna was not there in front of her, Krishna was sleeping in the other room, she's singing. And that's what all the bhaktas do. So Yashoda Maiya is a devotee of the Lord. She's a gopi in her own rights, and so she just uses any excuse. And one of the qualities of a highly exalted devotee of the Lord is Nam Gane Ruchi. So they have a taste for chanting the names of the Lord. She claims a taste for chanting the glories of the Lord. So she's chanting, she's singing, and then Krishna comes and says, I'm hungry. So she stops, the journey of the milk, of the curd, and she just starts to feed Krishna. And so that's a very beautiful, moment between the mother and the son. The mother is all full of love, and she's giving the milk to her child. And then she smells. And what does she smell? She smells that the milk has food. So now, when we look at the situation that the milk has overflown, and we try to see why did that happen? Why did the milk overflow after all it was found that sin, right? It was simmering and it was not supposed to overflow. So the interesting thing is that these pastimes of Krishna are all transcendental in nature. So when we look at Yashoda, we should not think of her as a material mother, just transcendental. So is Krishna. Everything in that Gokul is all transcendental. And so milk is also transcendental. And so in the spiritual world, we know that everything is animated. So milk here is animated, has got emotions. And so when the milk is looking at, Yashoda is feeding Krishna. And all along the whole morning, the milk was dreaming that, okay, now she's simmering me, now I'll have a lot of cream on it, she's going to put some rice into it, she's going to make kheer, and Krishna is going to do that. So milk was thinking that this is my seva to the Lord. This is what I'm going to do to the Lord, do for the Lord. And when he sees that Krishna is making milk from Yashoda, so he's crestfallen. He says like, oh, now there's no use for me for doing that. What's the use of this life? So milk feels very, very depressed. And in that depression, there's depression comes anger, and then it boils over. And some of the acharyas also say that the milk tried to commit suicide by jumping out of the vessel and falling down. So there was a lot of milk there, about 50 liters of milk. So the milk falls down like that. And then Yashoda Maiya smells it, right? So what's going on? So she, takes Krishna aside, puts him down, and runs into the kitchen. Now, Krishna does not like it. So if you're wondering why Krishna does not like it, you can think about it when you're having prasadam today, that as you're sitting and you're eating prasadam from a plate, if someone comes and takes the plate away from you, how are you going to feel over there? That was the feeling that Krishna also got, in the motherland. Because he was enjoying that nice motherly affection, and the milk that was flowing full of love for him. So while Yashoda Maiya is in the kitchen, Krishna gets very angry. So what is right next to him? Right next to him is that vessel in which she was churning the yogurt. So she goes there. So he takes up a stone and he bash. In anger he just throws at it, not realizing that it's going to break it. And then it breaks, and guess what? There is the heat all over the place. It's a big vessel. All the place, and then now he's scared. He said, "I've not done that. I don't know what you should have done." And so he says, "Okay, let me run away from this and let me hide." So as children will do, he runs over this yogurt. And then he runs out of the yogurt, and guess what? There are footprints which are following him all around. Yogurt footprints of Krishna. And Yashoda is oblivious to all that. She's in the kitchen, tending to the mess that has been created in the kitchen. And now Krishna is afraid, and he says, "Where do I hide? Where do I hide?" So he finds, goes inside a room to hide. And inside the room, he sees that there is a nice a mortar and a pestle thing which you use to grind the spices. So that is there. It's inverted, so the hole is not there. So he sees the base over there. And like children do, he climbs over that, climbs over it, and then as soon as he climbs over it, now he can get access to things which are at a higher level. And so at that level are the parts of, more makhan and or dahi and all that kind of things over there. Now he's still angry. So he takes another stone and puts it in. And then the makhan comes down, he eats them. Krishna loves to eat makhan. And this whole story started with that complaint, right? That women came and they complained to Yashoda Maiya that this son of yours, does my, steals our makhan. What do you do? Don't you feed him? Don't you do this? Don't you do that? And so started with that, and he likes it. Now remember, this is makhan from the Padma Gandha cow. So that now when the pot is broken, the smell goes all over Gokula. So all the monkeys come there. And the monkeys now say, and then Krishna is like, oh, now I've got more friends, partners in crime. So with the mortar, which was the first partner in crime, Krishna used that to, reach, and then all these monkeys. So he's eating some, he's giving some, he's having a nice time, right? But in his heart, he's also a little bit afraid. So he's looking here to make sure mom is not coming. And then he's giving away all these nice things. So, and then in the meantime, Yashoda has done her work in the kitchen and she enters the room and she sees all that. And then she says, oh, I can, only one person can do it, and this is Krishna. It is his doing. He has done that. So can I have over? We find out where is that rascal. She goes there, and then all that she has to do is to follow the footsteps, right? Krishna has left the footsteps on the ground, and she reaches that place. And as soon as she reaches that place, she sees, Krishna is eating makhan. So he has broken the pot and is eating the butter. And that's when she realizes that what the gopis were complaining, because till this time she never even believed the gopis when they came and complained. So no, Mera Lal as a name was like, my son cannot do anything like that. So she now realizes that, oh, so they were right in doing that. So then she gets angry. And this, so the anger is coming into Yashoda, and Krishna at the same time, turns his face and he looks at Yashoda. Oh my God, she's here. And then he starts running. So then Yashoda starts running up behind Krishna. So Krishna is running, Yashoda is running, Krishna aage, Yashoda piche, like that, she's running. And then she's trying to overtake him. And that's when, our acharyas come and say that the Upanishads say that nobody can run faster than Krishna. He walks, he does not walk, but nobody can, run faster than Krishna. Nobody can run faster than him. And here is Yashoda Maiya, she's trying to catch Krishna. And why is she trying to catch Krishna? Because the mood of Yashoda is very different. She's completely in the mood of a mother. There's no awe and reverence towards Krishna. He's my son, he's my little baby. I just want to protect him because now he's into this big thing. He's broken this, he's broken that, he's angry. I don't want him to run out of the house and go, into the streets and wreak more havoc over there, right? And he's already got all these monkeys with him, aiding him in that. So that was a mood which which is Yashoda Maiya is running after Krishna and running there. Krishna is afraid, he's looking at the back, mom is coming in, running like that. So this is the prelude to the situation on which Satyavata Muni has written the Damodar Ashtakam, right? And when he starts doing the Damodar Ashtakam, he actually starts with, what does he start with? Namami Shwaram Sachi Anandarupam Lasakundalam Goku Yashoda Viyolukhaladhavan Param Visham Adyantarato Nityagopya. So what he's saying, he starts with Nama Ishvara. Right? Why does he start with Nama Ishvara? Well, he's going to narrate certain things about Krishna. So it's a good thing to do some sort of a Mangalacharan there. So Nama, but Nama to whom? He's saying Nama Ishvara. Ishvara means he's the controller. He's setting this thing down. And the beauty of this whole Damodar Ashtakam is about controlling. How many of us try to control? Yes or yes? No, only two hands. Very nice. So he starts with the Nama, and he's emphasizing that he's Ishwar, and he's telling you that some of the things that I'm going to tell you later, some of the things I'm going to tell you later in my poem is going to be very mind-boggling. You will not understand. But I'm telling you at the outset that this particular story is about Ishwar. It's about one who is the controller of this universe, right? Let's set the ground straight. Nama Ishwaram. And what kind of a Ishwar is it? Satchidananda Rupam. So he's always very happy. Satchid Anand. Now, at this time when we are doing this story, is Krishna having any kind of Anand? Is he in Anand stage? No, his mom is at his back, right? His mom is at his back, but then, so you might see that, he's scared, but even in that scared thing, he's having Anand, the rasa of the relationship with the mom. And mom is, running after me, he's enjoying this, right? And then he goes and describes him, the Lasat Kundalam. Lasat Kundalam, so how many of you have Kundalams here? Quite a few have got that, right? Lasat Kundalam. So Lasat means this Kundalam are coming and touching Lasat like that. Because he's running, so his Kundalas are going like that and he's touching the cheek like that. So the Kundals are the Acharyas who are in the mood of Madhurya Ras, right? Our Acharyas in the mood of Madhurya Ras. So they are saying, Lasat Kundalam, the Kundalams are going and kissing his cheek. And how fortunate are these Kundalam? Lasat Kundalam. And then Lasat Kundalam also means that the Kundals are shining. Now the Kundals are not shining because they are made of diamond or whatever like that, It is because the Kundals are touching Krishna's face. And anything that gets in touch with Krishna is going to be, much more glorified. So Krishna is the ornament of the ornaments. Lasat Kundalam, Gokule Bhajaman. So all the Gokul people of the Gokul Bhaj, he is, Man Lubhare, stealing their hearts and their minds like that. But however, Yashoda Bhiyo Lukha Lal. Navamanam. Yashoda Bhiyo. Bhiyo means he's scared of Yashoda Maya. Yashoda. And who is Krishna? Fear personified is afraid of Krishna. So can you imagine? What is fear personified? We use this word so much. What is fear personified? What do you think is fear personified? What does it mean? Practically. Fear personified. What would that mean? Fear of the death, fear of this fear. But fear personified basically means that if you take all the kind of fears that are there in this world, fear of death, fear of becoming old, fear of failing the exam, fear of being dumb, fear of not losing the promotion, fear of being laid off, fear of not fulfilling the mortgage. It's a long list. If you take all these fears together and create a form out of that, that is fear personified. So sum total of all the fear in the world is fear personified, and fear personified is afraid of Krishna. So how powerful is Krishna? Nama Ishwaram. He's so powerful. The fear is afraid of Krishna, but look at that Krishna. Yashoda Bhiyo Lokhala. He's scared of Yashoda Bhiyo. Why? Because that's the rasa that is happening. It's a mother and a son relationship. Mother will scold, the son will, reciprocate that. So Yashoda Bhiyo Lokhala. Havamana. Dhava. He's running like that, right? Param Vishtam Atyanta. Such an activity. Pastime that is going on there, right? That was the first verse of Tamdashtikam. So then, Yashoda is running after Krishna, and then she comes very close to Krishna. And then, she knows that Krishna has been naughty, and I'm going to punish him. So she picks up a stick. And as soon as Krishna sees the stick in his mother's hand, she's like, up it, I baby. So then, he starts crying. Because he's a small baby and you show a stick to the baby and then you cry, right? So then, this beautiful, situation of Krishna crying, the mother has got a stick in her hand, and she just caught Krishna, caught hold of Krishna. So then, that's the next verse. What's the next verse? Karam Mujayumena Satantanam Mushvasukam Vilekaka Kanta Sita Devam Damodaram Bhaktivatam. So he's crying. He's crying like that, And as he's crying with both his, lotus hands, he's rubbing his eyes. And when he rubs his eyes, what's going to happen? All the beautiful mascara and the kohl that Yashoda has put in his eye, all that is getting smudged, right? So that is the picture of Krishna, right? And then when kids cry a lot, even after they stop crying, their breath still goes like that. Even if they go to sleep crying, then they'll still be doing. So that is what Krishna is doing, Mohu Shvash-kampa, right? Rekhanka Kantha. So then there are 3 lines that appear on his neck. So how are those 3 lines now visible to everybody? Is because Yashoda has got the stick in her hand and Krishna is looking like this. So the neck is stretched and you can see the 3 lines over here. So these 3 lines, that the fact that you're able to see 3 lines on the neck means that Krishna has got a long neck. There are different kinds of bodies. Some have long neck, short neck, and some have no neck at all, like that, So Krishna's neck is very beautiful. So having 3 lines, 3 rekhanka on your kant is the equivalent of a 6-pack abs that we see these days, and all the men try to get that. So that's the kind of a body that Krishna has, right? And then he has got all this beautiful Krishna has got all these Sita Grava, right? Grava, all these ornaments that he's wearing. That's how Krishna is. Beautifully adorned with ornaments. Kajal is completely smudged. His eye, he's crying. He's breathing heavily. He's looking at Mother Yashoda with those eyes, right? You can imagine what would happen to the heart of Yashoda when she sees her son in this particular moment. And then the last word that he has put in this verse is Bhakti Padham. And that's also very important in the Damodarashtakam, right? Ishwaram Bhakti Padham. Right? So he said, Sitha Gravam Damodaram Bhakti Padham. So then he goes to the 3rd verse, and 3rd verse is Iti Driksvalila Anandakunde Swagusham Himajantam Makya Payastam Tadishtadechu Bhakte Jivatma Na Prematastam Sadaviti Mande. So now he's doing this beautiful pastime with Yashoda Maiya, and with this Leela, Ananda Kunde, the whole of Gokul is drowned in this ocean of Anand. So imagine the bliss that the people are enjoying. Right? So then he's saying that and Krishna says, but I am conquered only by those who are my bhaktas, right? Bhaktir Jitatma Punha Premastastam Sattavriti Mande. And then he says, Sattavriti. Hundreds and hundreds of times I offer obeisances to you. Because when you see something so glorified about somebody that you want to offer obeisance, right? And we see that in Bhagavad Gita also, as soon as Krishna sees, Arjun sees the universal form of the Lord. What does he say? Obeisance to you from the left, obeisance to you from the right, obeisances from the back, obeisances from the front, obeisances from all over the place to you. So that's the mood that we get into. That's why when some big sannyasi comes to the temple, we all look, fall onto the ground, we offer obeisances. So obeisance is a very, very important thing. And also because when you're offering obeisances for the first time, your head actually goes below your heart. And bhakti is all about heart. Right? Bhakti has got nothing to do with applying your intellect at all, right? So Satyavat Muni then, continues, right? So he is talking and he's doing, hundreds of obeisances. And remember, who is he talking to? Whom is Satyavat Muni talking? 2 people, Narada and Shanak Muni. Right? So Narada and Shanak Muni. So he's just telling them that, okay, so Krishna is there, and I did namaste to Krishna, and then Krishna from within the heart or from outside, we don't know. Krishna is saying, okay, now, okay, fine. You have you're narrating it so beautiful, and you have got so much of bhakti in your heart. You tell me what you want. Tell me what you want, right? And then what he says? Lachanyam Viniham Parishadatu Itam Deva Punnathe Gopal Balam Sada me manasya vilasam ki mandir. So he says that, oh, you can give so many varams, you can give so many benedictions, but I do not want any of these benedictions from you. All that I want from you is, I just want to have this beautiful picture. Vapurnath, what type of picture? Gopala Pala. So the cute little Krishna, you see that beautiful pictures on the internet of Krishna. The cute little picture, I just want to have that picture in my mind. Sadame manasya. Avirasam kirtan, right? Avirasam means that let it be manifest in my mind, right? So, Atha Shri Krishna Namani Na Bhave Grahini Sevan Mukha Vichikado Swam Eva Smratita. Right? So Krishna's Naam and Krishna's form are not going to appear by us doing any kind of a mechanical effort. I'm going to memorize all the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm going to teach 60 classes of Bhagavad Gita in a month or whatever. It doesn't happen that way, right? All that you have to do is to do Seva Mukho in the beginning. You have to start with your Jivha, with your tongue. And how can you serve Krishna with your tongue? Chanting, right? And better part, honoring prasadam, right? That's the good part. So you can do that. So that's what the devotees like to do. So he's saying, I don't want that. All that I want is this beautiful picture of yours, O Lord, in my heart. And then Krishna says, oh, why do you want this picture in my? Why do you want to have a picture? हमें अच्छा लगेगा, हमें अच्छा लगता है. तो वाइफ का हस्बैंड बोलते हैं ना, वाइफ यहाँ के बैठ तो अच्छा लगता है शादी के शुरू में. So I have a beautiful wife, nice jewelry and all that. So बोले क्यों तुम्हें क्यों, why तुम्हें अच्छा लगता है. Why क्या अच्छा लगता है तुम्हें, क्या अच्छा लगता है. भगवान पूछ रहे हैं, he wants to hear more. मतलब भक्त के मुझ से सुन रहे हैं. So then Satyavat Muni makes one more verse. He says, Idam te mukham bhojam matyanta nile vritam kuntale snigdha raktesya gopya mukhchumbitam bimbaratadaram me manasya virasam malam takshaname. So you say, idam te mukh ambojam, right? So ambuj means, Hindi scholars, ambuj means, you can guess. Lotus, of course, we are describing Krishna's face. Ambuj means lotus. So, idam te mukham ambujam, right? Atyanta neela. Neel means blue color, right? So, blue color, neel, indigo. Yes, Ritam kuntale. So then, his ritam, right? His kuntale are how? They are curved. Right? They are coming here in curls. It's describing the face of Krishna with beautiful curves around the face. Right? And snigdha, raktasya gurya. And then how are his lips? With red color, right? Muhushchumbitam bimba raktadaram me. So why? So then seeing this beautiful face, he's explaining to God, seeing this beautiful face, then Yashoda Maya, puts Krishna on her lap and she repeatedly kisses that beautiful face. And why would Yashoda not kiss this beautiful face, right? After all, when a mother has got a material child, completely with a material body, how many times she kisses the child? So many times she kisses her child, right? What to speak of if the Supreme Personality of Godhead is lying on your lap? Why would you not kiss him? You kiss him, right? And so that's what she's doing there. And we notice that in the Srimad Bhagavatam when we hear the Brahma Vimohan Leela. When Krishna expands himself and becomes the calves, or he expands himself and becomes the gopas, then the cows were realizing that that one full year they had loved the calves much more. They could not explain why this, the furor of emotions were coming from their hearts. Because they did not know that it was not a calf, it was Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's how it is. When you come in front of Supreme Personality of Godhead, some transformation happens to you. That's why Dhruv Maharaj, is Swami. I don't want anything from you, because when he sees this beautiful face, he says, oh, I wanted a kingdom better than my grandfather. I don't want any of that. All that I want to do is to just serve you like that. Right? So, well, then after explaining all that, so then Lord is very pleased with him and is looking. And then he goes back and says that, okay, he doesn't speak about that in this particular story, he doesn't narrate it in the Damadarashtakam, but something happens between what we are narrating right now is that Krishna with the three Rekhanka Kantha is looking at Yashoda Maiya. She has a stick in her hand. Now, when Yashoda sees the child about to cry, he says, okay, fine, I won't beat him. But you naughty little boy, you have done something wrong, so I'm going to punish you nonetheless. And this little mortar, Ulukha, this Ulukha was your partner in crime. Okay, let me tie the two of you together. So she goes there and she tries to tie. And then we know the rest of it's history. And so she brings one rope. How much rope do you need to tie Krishna to a loop, right? 2 feet is more than enough. 2 feet rope doesn't suffice. How much is left? 2 fingers. Then she said, okay, she shouts to her servants and says, bring some more ropes. So now there's plenty of rope in Nandagram. After all, it's full of cows, right? You have ropes. So there are a lot of ropes here and there. And she does bring the ropes there. And they all tie the ropes together. Again, they try to tie Krishna. Again, they're not able to do it too. And then all the gopis, from here and there, everywhere the word has spread. Krishna ki pitai hui hai, ghar mein aa jao, pakde gaye Krishna aaj, makhan churate. So everybody comes and all the gopis are enjoying and they're saying, Yashoda, you cannot tie him, you cannot tie Krishna at all. So then she says that you keep quiet. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. And all these gopis and gopas were there. I mean, they go and they do complain about that Krishna stole my butter, Krishna this and Krishna did that. But it's not that it was just that. They actually liked it. They liked the fact that Krishna used to steal their butter over there, right? So anyway, Krishna has tied him to the Yashoda had tied Krishna over there. And now Krishna is looking. And then we know the rest of the story. And that is that he sees 2 trees there, Yamal and Yamalajin trees, right? And who are those trees? Kids know the answer? What were the 2 trees in Nand Maharaj's kutyar? Nal Kuvera and Manigriva, right? So then this Satyavata Muni is, he's saying that so you have to have that in the background to understand the Damodarashtakam, the next verse that is coming up. So he's saying that Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukha Jalabdi Magnam Kripa Drishti Vrichati Dinam Vatanam. So he's saying that put your Kripa Drishti on me. Put your Kripa Drishti on me. So then Krishna says that, why should I put my Kripa Drishti on you? Right? So then he goes to the next verse. Kuberatmajo bhattam devayatva vayamo chitau bhakti bhajau pitau cha tatham prema bhakti swatam vigrayacha namo khe graho visita uttarena. So he said that when such fallen souls as Nalkuvel and Marigri, you uplifted them, so please you uplift me also in the thought. And then he says in the last verse that's coming up, Namaste Sudame Spurati Pidame Vadiyodalaya Vishwasya Name Namo Radhikamale Tadiya Priyale Namo Nantalilaya Devaya. So we remember in the beginning we had started with Namaste.